Hey, I'm Desiré Moses, coming to you live from In Your Ear Studios in Richmond, where I'm joined by Neal Francis. Neal, thanks for being here.
Hi, Desiré.
Hey, great to see you.
It's good to see you, too.
Neal has a new record out called In Plain Sight. You've been busy. You just got back from Wilco's Sky Blue Sky Festival. Saw you made your big national TV appearance on CBS Sunday morning. We got a lot to talk about, but we're going to kick off with a song first. What would you like to play for us?
I'm going to play Problems.
They say timing is everything, and they went messing around. It feels so good I can finally say I can show my face round town. But fate sends you here to me with plans of tying me down. You know you got everything going on just right, it's just not right now. Lord knows I've got enough problems, I don't need one more. Oh Lord, Lord knows I've got enough problems, I don't need one more. Me to stay with you, and let's say I play along. And though there's nothing I'd rather do, with only half my heart, it all just feels so wrong. Lord knows I've got enough problems, I don't need one more. Oh Lord, Lord knows I've got enough problems, I don't need one more. All this crazy talk kinda got me thinking maybe I'm the only one I've been cheating. What I need to do is open up my arms, let someone like you live inside my heart till I come to my senses and remember that Lord knows I've got enough problems, I don't need one more. Oh Lord, Lord knows I've got enough problems, I don't need one more. Oh Lord, Lord knows, yeah, I don't need one more. Oh Lord, Lord knows I've got enough problems, I don't need one more. I don't need one more. I don't need one more of these problems. I don't need one more. I don't need one more of these problems. Oh yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't need one more. I don't need one more of these problems. I don't need one more. No, I don't need one more of these problems.
Neal Francis live on WNRN, Problems off the new record In Plain Sight. He's playing the Canal Club in Richmond tonight. Doors at 8, shows at 8:30. So Neal, you grew up in Chicago, and you came to the piano at a young age. You started training classically and switched to blues. Can you tell us about playing the blues in Chicago and sort of how you came up?
Well, I was introduced to that style of blues piano by a family friend who came over and started just playing on our piano at home, and I had already been playing music, but I just, there's so many, the rhythmic element and the whole arrangement can be played on piano, and it was just really exciting for me to hear. I was probably 6 years old, and I just really became fascinated with that, and my parents were just great at facilitating whatever I wanted to listen to and learn, so that became a big passion for a while.
So, Chicago, steeped in music, steeped in the blues. So were you actually playing in clubs when you were a teenager? Were you already playing blues piano in clubs?
Yeah, I started playing with blues musicians around the age of 18, and I was connected to that scene through the manager of my high school band, which was more of like a jam band called the Reverend Funk Connection. And, the manager he had another blues act that he was managing at the time, and he connected me with them. And so that's how I got connected into that scene, and I was just, through college, just playing gigs on the side, and, eventually led to a lot of gigs as a sideman in my 20s, just playing piano.
Yeah, so that brings us to this record, In Plain Sight. So as the story goes, you recorded this record in a church where you were also staying at the time. And there were a lot of firsts for you in that church. So can you talk about, you had learning to play the organ there or the Hammond. So sort of talk about the different instrumentation there and how this record came about.
Well, I've been playing Hammond organ for a while. That's quite a different discipline from pipe organ, which is something that I had played for a long time, but not in a very studious way. And so I got some classical organ lessons from a friend in my hometown, Oak Park, and having an organ at my disposal, I was in there, I wrote on that instrument, and I wrote on the piano in the sanctuary, and there were also pianos throughout the building, and I just kind of had my run of the place, so it was a really inspiring place to write, but also just to sort of level up as a musician, because I'd never really dedicated a lot of time to, reading notation or my technique, so having that allotment of time and just that space in which to practice was just amazing.
Yeah, can you set the scene for us a little bit? Was it just you in there when you were demoing out these songs, or did you have a full band there with you playing on the demos?
For the demos, by that time my drummer was living with me as well in the parsonage, which just speaks to the generosity of the congregation, because I was just like, oh, can my drummer live here too? Because we're out of work for the pandemic, and they agreed. So, I was demoing everything on 8-track, reel-to-reel, and then when I was ready, he would, tie it all together with a drum track. So we operated like that for a while, and then eventually the band, everybody decided we would become a bubble and start rehearsing again, and that's how it went, through the recording session.
And this was in Chicago, right?
Yeah, Chicago in 2020.
COVID time.
Yeah.
And so were they still having services during this time? You were also playing with the church too, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. So the church services were canceled for a while, and then they came back via Zoom. And so I remember one particular time, this is later in the pandemic, in probably September or October when we started actually recording the record. We were up till 6 or 7 in the morning recording something, and I just stayed up for church service, and it was super weird over Zoom. I don't know if anybody has, probably everybody's familiar with that platform, but just I would pre-record the tunes and then send them to the vocalist, and he'd play them in the background as he sang over them on Zoom, and it usually sounded pretty terrible, but just in terms of the quality, that we had, the technology to facilitate didn't really allow for great quality, but I usually just sat there on the camera, which was nice because I was very tired, so I just propped myself up against a wall or something.
There you go. Had your coffee out of
Some
sight.
sunglasses.
We're chatting with Neal Francis on WNRN about the new album, In Plain Sight. He's playing at the Canal Club in Richmond tonight. Shows at 8:30. Why don't you play another song for us, Neal?
Okay, great. This one, I want to thank you guys for playing so much because it's been great having the support of radio stations. It's called You Can't Stop the Rain.
The hardest thing to do is hard for me to say. If I only knew I'd take your pain away. I can't stand the truth. You knew me all along, but I can't hide from you, girl, 'cause you're in every song. Take a look around, tell me what you find. The problems that you have aren't the ones on your mind, and you can't stop the rain. It's always coming down. It's always gonna fall, but you're not gonna drown. No, no, no. Your friends are in the city, well, they don't give a damn. They all think you're pretty, but they don't stand a chance. When you look in the mirror to see someone you know, or are you just a stranger buried in the snow? Take a look around, tell me what you see. The beauty of the world shines through you and me, and you can't stop the rain. It's always coming down. It's always gonna fall, but you're not gonna drown. No, no, no. Stop the rain. It's always coming down. It's always gonna fall, but you're not gonna drown. No, 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 no,
Neal Francis live on WNRN. Can't Stop the Rain off the new record, In Plain Sight. Neal's playing the Canal Club in Richmond tonight. Doors are at 8. The show's at 8:30. So, Neal, we were just talking about you wrote most of these songs and demoed them out in a church in Chicago. So what's it been like now getting on the road, kind of post-pandemic-y? You know, we came out of the recording sessions. You recorded these in a church. Does it sound different on the road than you thought it would sound when you're recording in this hollow room by yourself in the church? Now you're taking this out on the road. How's it been?
Yeah, I mean, we've had to just find out how to play all this stuff with a 4-piece ensemble. because most of the time that's what we're touring as. And there's a lot of auxiliary parts on the record and harmonies and keyboard parts that I can't facilitate with a 4-piece. So it obviously sounds different, but we end up really filling that space because the guys in the band are just the best musicians I've ever worked with, and they're just their ability to adapt those arrangements to the smaller ensemble it's really been working out well, and we're having fun, So.
Yeah, would you mind telling us who's going to be playing with you tonight at the Canal Club?
Yeah, so the guys who are on the record and also on the road with me are Colin O'Brien on drums, who is my roommate at the Parsonage as well, and Mike Starr on bass guitar, and Kellen Boersma on guitar.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to hearing it tonight. I also was curious about the title of the record. So that comes from a song that you actually wound up scrapping and wasn't included on the album. Mm-hmm. Why the decision to scrap but then still keep the album title?
Well, I wouldn't say we scrapped it. I think it's definitely going to be released because it's near and dear to my heart. But the sequence of the record was a collaboration, and it just felt like Say Your Prayers, which is the final track on the record, as it is, just had it just had a better tone as like a capstone to the record or a finishing point. So, and I was just into the idea of calling the album the title of a song that wasn't on it in reference to Houses of the Holy by Led Zeppelin, because... I had that record as a kid, and I was like, man, this would be their best record if Houses of the Holy was actually on it, but they saved it for physical graffiti, so as you all know.
So obviously the track listing itself was important to you. What was the overarching theme? There was kind of a track in there that I would call an interlude. I don't know if you would call it an interlude, but so what was sort of the overarching theme you were looking to accomplish there?
Oh, well, I'm glad you mentioned the interlude because that's what the working title for that 4th track was. Oh. But I called it D'Artagnan because it's the 4th track on the record, and D'Artagnan was the 4th Musketeer, which I was obsessed with the 3 Musketeers when I was a kid. But I don't know, the sequence came together pretty organically. It wasn't really overthought. There were natural kind of flows to how everything sounded that we had in the bag. So, yeah.
Neal Francis live on WNRN from In Your Ear Studios in Richmond. The new album, In Plain Sight, he's playing at the Canal Club tonight. Doors at 8, shows at 8:30. Let's play one more. What would you like to play for us?
This is another song off the new record. It's called Prometheus.
Run ahead of the devil and try not to wallow in vice. It's not in my nature to try to do better. When the birds have enough is when I'll ask you to make it stop, yeah. I can feel the fire getting high, 'cause that's only all I've got. For how long will I have to stay chained to this rock? Have mercy on me, yeah. Well, I fought and I stole from the gods and I rolled the dice. I was banished to earth, now I'm bound as a slave to the tides. You can't see my tears while my head's underwater. How can I be sincere when I'm out for the slaughter? I can feel the fire getting high, 'cause I stole the only soul I've got. For now will I have to stay chained to this rock. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Won't you have mercy on me? Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Oh, won't you have mercy on me? 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 Have mercy on me.
Neal Francis live on WNRN, playing tonight at the Canal Club in Richmond. Doors at 8, the show's at 8:30. We'll be playing as part of a 4-piece group. Neal, thanks so much for joining us. That was great.
It was my pleasure.
Another
Thank
round
you
of
for having
applause.
me.
Yeah. Thanks to all my WNRN colleagues. Thanks to everybody at In Your Ear, Carlos, Andrea, Billy, Charlie, Brian, Taylor, and Eric. Thanks so much.